We are climbing up to the window now. It's east facing, so we have a lot of nice sunlight warming us up. There's no trail heading up to the window. We're just kind of winging it since this isn't a trail. Gargoyle's almost there. This is the top. I'm in the window. You can see way down into the valley where we were. We climbed down from over there. I have to somehow traverse this, head back up with the trail over there. We camped just over there by that lake. This was a good climb in the morning. And here's the backside of the window. And this is challenging terrain to navigate down there. Gargoyles up ahead as always. Yeah, this is like being inside of a haunted house full of jump scares. Because half the rocks will just fly down the steep hill when you step on them. Gargoyle and I decided to take separate paths to navigate the really rough section. So I have no idea where he is, but on the other side of the overhang, well, there was some snow, saw some elk prints, and from there I've been following a very rough game trail of elk, which is heading in the direction I need to. So I've been kind of using that rough trail to guide my way through this pretty rough terrain. At least it's somewhat of a trail. Well, I met back up with Gargoyle on the trail. Like just as I was getting back on the trail is when he was arriving up on that point on the trail. So that was some pretty good timing. Both of our routes ended up being fine. They're just kind of fun swapping stories. So with all the snow that I'd slipped and slid on like in the past week, my butt constantly being wet, I've had some terrible chafing on my butt and thighs. And I've been using lotion and it hurts. And I've been really wanting to get a mini Vaseline in town. I've been thinking about that for a while because it doesn't burn and it'll probably heal up my thighs better. And lo and behold, I find someone's tiny Vaseline. And it's dirty and it looks like it's been sitting out in the elements for a while. Has some dirt around the edges, but this is a true example of the trail providing. Took the wrong trail again. I thought it was on the CDT. Now I have to backtrack. At least it's pretty. There's a faraway look at the window. It's right here. It's kind of cool seeing it from the other side so far away. I have a bad cough on the uphills, but that kind of happens to me every time I'm in high altitude. I just hope it doesn't turn into pneumonia. But I was really falling behind, and I guess Gargoyle didn't wait for me at the intersection to do this side path. And I don't know which one he took. If he took the red line or this alternate. So I think I'm gonna go with the alternate because the lay maps recommended it. I'm like halfway up this first climb, which is really treacherous and there's no trail. And it's starting to snow. Well, the blue sky is over there, but up here, there's snow coming down. I suggested this is an alternate. It's crazy. This is terrifying. I don't really want to be here, but I really don't want to hike back down. So I'm hoping that forward is better. I'm at the top. I'm terrified. I don't know what to do next. I climbed down this portion. This looks far from my point of view, but this was only like a tiny little bit of it. It took forever. These rocks were like playing Jenga, and if the right one moved, I'm sure a whole rock slide would happen. And now I just have this plateau and that to climb up I guess that looks a lot more forgiving. I am exhausted. Here's a better view of the mountain I descended, and it's all made out of boulders like this, but all loose and wiggly and terrifying. I made it up to the plateau that was mentioned. It's really pretty up here. This just looks like a place out of a dream. Well, this 2-mile side adventure, and I'm finally back on the CDT. And it took me 3 hours. I'm exhausted. I hope it's not a mistake to aim for a sunset summit. I do have my headlamp fairly grabbable though. It's not the sunset yet. I still have climbing to do, but it's beautiful up here. I'm at the top of Humpback Mountain at sunset! Woo! This is actually really spectacular. I'm glad I did this. The part I'm nervous about is heading down in the dark. Hopefully it's not too bad. I just started down climbing the wrong way. I had to climb back up. And there's the last of the sunlight. It's so beautiful. Talk about a knife's edge. I'm shaking. Well, I've got some night hiking ahead of me, including snow traverses. And I suppose this is the old CDT route. It's not the current one, but apparently it's still a path. And it's listed on the lay maps. So I will just take this and see where it goes. So right now I'm in my tent. The old CDT trail that I was on met up with the Colorado trail, which meets up with the current CDT. I took that, and it was a nice trail, but I somehow got off track and followed maybe a drainage or something, and it kind of disappeared, and it wasn't quite where I needed to be. And I just saw that there was like a deep gully and water and snow, and I was like walking around being like, I don't know. Found a place to cross, saw some other footprints, crossed. Then I realized that was the CDT. I did make it there. I figured it out. But then all the tracks were going southbound. So I was really worried about that, and I had to check it several times. But no, I'm indeed going the right direction. It's obnoxious that I haven't seen anybody since noon, essentially. I also haven't eaten since noon, and yeah, I'm just really thirsty and hungry, and I need to get more water in me. But part of the problem that I'm dealing with right now is that my CNOC bladder here, I had 2 liters in my pack, and I filtered 1 liter on the way up to Hunchback Mountain. And I Humpback, I can't remember. Anyways, it leaked. It leaked quite a bit into my pack, and then everything was frozen in my pack when I got to camp. Everything was freezing, like the snow and the creek water and everything out there was freezing. And my sleeping pad was at the bottom of my pack, and this was very wet. I laid it out, blowed it up. And I was going to wipe it down with like my town shirt. It's like ex officio top, except that it was frozen. So with frozen bits of ice all over that, I had to like move my body across my sleeping pad back and forth to heat it up enough to like let it melt, and then like absorb it with my hiking pants essentially. And I took I was carrying hand warmers just in case. And I think this is the just in case situation because everything in my pack is wet and it's really cold, below freezing. Everything is freezing right now. The everything I pulled out of my pack that was wet immediately froze. So, yeah, I made myself a cup of soup, and I'm doing some breakfast essentials, just anything hot that I can get down. A lot of the food in my food bag right now does not sound appealing, so it is what it is. Hopefully I stay warm. Hopefully I stay dry. That's kind of been like a battle before, but now I'm worried about the underside of my sleeping pad, which is wet and frosty. Well, it's frosted. Will it thaw? I don't know. Either way, this is pretty rough. This has been a really rough day.